It's not such a point blank question, and therefore there is no point blank answer for this. When you say karma, what we normally mean is that actually the word karma means work. Here what we mean is the theory of karma. What we're trying to say is that we are conditioned in many ways by the past. If you believe that there is a past, then we are conditioned by the past. And therefore we are in a situation which is a result of such conditioning. Is it possible for us to free ourselves from it? Or is it possible for us to work out of it? This is roughly what we are trying to look at. Now the thing is, whether you believe in the past or whether you don't believe in past lives, the human being today, every human being today, is a result of millions of years of genetic evolution, biologically. Therefore, if I say I am independent, I am not. I am linked to the amoeba down. So I carry all the characteristics that have come to me through these genes for a million years. I am a result of that. Therefore, I am a result of my past, even biologically. I cannot say that I am suddenly something new. I am a product of my father and mother. And my father and mother are a product of, and it goes, the chain is almost unending. So there are traits and characteristics. Now say even the susceptibility to disease in many cases are stored in these genes for generation after generation. So we are a result of the past. So the karmic theory applies even in biological terms. Now, therefore, the condition in which we are born, we have no control over. I didn't choose to be born to my parents. First of all, nobody asked me, right? But I'm born. Now, in that situation, I have no control over. Given that situation, there are certain ways in which I can still mold my life. That I can't do anything. You see, you will find two parents having 4 children. Nowadays, luckily less, but let's say 2 children. And 2 children going in 2 different ways. They are in the same condition born. So, there are 2 ways of looking at it. One is their past was such that they are going according to their past. One way of looking at it. Second is, given the circumstances, it is still possible to go in different directions. But there are certain traits which will remain with them because they are born of the same parents. That is also there. Now, suppose we believe in the karmic theory, either biologically or in the spiritual manner. What is most important is, if it is so, what we do now decides what's going to be in future. So the most important thing is now. So how are we going to plan our lives now so that in the next life, if there is a next life? I'm just saying this because right now it is a theoretical expression. I can say, yeah, there is a part, I know it, but it means nothing. It's my word against yours, right? So let's say, suppose there is. Then what I do now is going to decide what I'm going to be in the future. Now, if that is so, I still know that I'm conditioned in some ways by the past. Is it possible that there are ways, avenues, means by which I can move a little differently? Because the past is a karmic blueprint. There are chances of altering it. You may not be able to alter the foundations, but you are able to alter other things. The height, the breadth, the length, there's so many things can be done. What we are discussing is food for thought. I don't want to stop this questioning here. As you think about it, it will work out.
You said we can change our karma. How can we change? How can we?
For that, first we have to know ourselves as we are. Now we get into the realm of psychology. You see, physically we know roughly where we are, materially, what our situation is. Psychologically, even though we think that our conscious mind is in control of all activities that we do, It's a well-known fact now that 90% of our actions are dictated by the subconscious. Okay? So, we have to delve into our mind, go deep into our own existence, our own thinking process to figure out what is its content. Because if you have at least an 80% understanding of its content, then only it is possible to make a change. Because the change has to come from within. It cannot be brought from outside. So, delving into your thought processes, delving into your mind is one of the ways of meditation. When you say meditation, it means more and more to be aware of one's thoughts and how we perform actions with many a time with prejudiced thinking, and how we can actually see ourselves as we are.
When we do know, sometimes even like without getting insight, you still know your weaknesses.
Yes. No, that is because you have already gone inside. You have looked at yourself, otherwise you never know your weaknesses.
I don't meditate.
No, meditation is not just sitting. That is not meditation. That is also meditation, but meditation is a very wide concept. If you are not practicing in a particular mode of meditation, that doesn't mean that you are not a meditative type. There are people who do hours of meditation sitting down with closed eyes, but who are not able to put their mind into a one stream. Oh. So then that is no longer meditation, it is only sitting down. There is still some advantage in sitting down. It calms the body, it calms the mind, but it may not be going in so deep. Now, since we are dwelling on this particular theme, I want to tell you something else. Now, if you want to really find out about yourself, study yourself, the only way to do it is while you are in society. You cannot do it in a cave. It's not possible. It's nice sometimes to go and sit. Everybody wants to have some quietness. You need not have a cave. Your own home can be a cave. You can shut the door and say, don't disturb me, and sit for a while. That's okay. But where the mind has reached, how mature it is, what are its characteristics, how does it react to situations, this can be found out only in communication, in social contact with the outside world. Otherwise, there is no way you can find out. So, it's also important that one is aware of one's thoughts and actions while we are up and about doing our work in this world. See, I can always pretend to be very humble, but really, do I have humility can be found out by myself only when I am quiet. Now, this is also part of meditation, to find out how I am. How do I react to others? Am I putting up a facade or am I real? Sometimes in social circumstances, it may be necessary to put on a facade. But I must know that I am putting on a facade and not believe in it. You understand what?
Yeah.
There are people who live completely artificial life and soon they believe that they are doing the real thing. So you see, it's very interesting. The word personality is derived from the Greek word persona. And the Greek word persona means a mask. Now, we all have masks of various kinds. Now, when you say looking at yourself, it means can we look behind the mask and see what we are? This is the beginning of self-discovery. And unless you have self-discovery, you cannot really find yourself. And then if you don't know yourself, how are we repairing it? That's what I mean. So, while we go about the business of the world, to be aware of what we are doing, what we are thinking, how we are putting ourselves up, and actually what we are, to check this. Now, it helps if you can spend some time quietly, as you said, in private, to assess what is going on. And every day if this assessment begins, please don't blame yourself, don't condemn yourself, also don't justify yourself. Just look at it like a matter of fact sheet. You understand? When we begin that every day, then it becomes meditation automatically. Now it helps to watch your breath or something and center yourself, otherwise the mind is so distracted. And then start looking. And it has to be done every day, because every day we do so many things, we think so many thoughts. So all this, at least end of the day or beginning of the day, you can check this. That is the beginning of meditation, if you ask me. Then we know where to start the work. And if you work inside, then the outside will work for itself. You don't have to do anything about it. That's what I meant.